Hello. I will be presenting my close reading, which I have done on The Prince by Machiavelli. I'd like to start introducing my passage, which I have chosen from the text. It is from the page 19. Besides, states which spring up suddenly, like everything else in nature which springs up in a day, cannot have a network of roots and branches. They are destroyed by the first storm that strikes. Of course, it may be that men who become prince overnight have so much natural astuteness that they quickly prepare themselves to preserve what fortune has showered on them. The foundations that other men construct before becoming prince, they may be able to construct afterwards. By starting with the linguistic level, I chose these five words which I seen them important in order to build a theme and a thematic idea. These are spring up, being destroyed, astuteness, preserve, and fortune. I specify the theme as maintaining the power and the thematic idea as unless the man becoming the ruler by the fortune has required virtues, like astuteness, as mentioned in the passage, all young rulers are destined to lose their power. By going with the semantic level, the connotation and denotation definitions of these words are like starting with spring up, for example. It means to suddenly appear or start to exist. I think it is a reference to nature, and we can also see the realistic approach of Machiavelli to the nature. The other one is being destroyed. It's a adjective form of verb destroy. It means to damage something so badly so that it no longer exists or cannot be used or repaired. I think there is no reference to what happens after destruction of a flower or a state in the text, especially in this passage. The other one is astuteness. It's a noun form of the verb astute, which means being able to understand situations or behavior very well and very quickly, especially so that you can get an advantage for yourself. The other one is preserve, to make something continue without changing, and the other one is fortune, which means a chance or luck and the effect that it has on your life. By etymological analysis, it means a position as determined by wealth. Going with the semantic level, we can discuss a metaphor of nature on this passage. Birth of a state is related to a plant where both needs to have root to live strong under the attack of threats coming naturally. And also the root of the fortune coming from the meaning of a position as determined by wealth, which I mentioned earlier in the etymological analysis. Machiavelli may have referred to this meaning due to the usage of private citizens early in the text. Astuteness may refer to a negative meaning, yet it is used as a virtue to survive, so it is something positive here. I'd like to continue the analysis on the structural level. The first part of the passage is built on a metaphor which I had mentioned earlier on the semantic level. From the smile between the foundation of a state and plants in nature, it is meant that although there is a process before their existence on the land, states appear in a day just like a flower. There is an instant moment that they take out their heads. This can be understood by referring to this phrase, who become princes overnight. In addition, the bird is dependent on selected seeds reproduced from its predecessors. So it is hereditary and occurs by chance. Being privileged from the birth is pointed a lot in the text by using the term private citizen. However, as referred in the passage, a flower survives only if it develops strong roots which help it to preserve its maintenance against tough conditions. Its survival may also be dependent on the chance resulting from convenient conditions, yet it cannot escape from natural process which challenges it eventually. This is also relatable for the state of young prince. The position that he took due to his hereditary advantage may be preserved without any problem for a while. Yet the man in the power has to prepare himself in case of any potential threats. In order to achieve this, he needs to have virtues like astuteness, as mentioned in the passage. Even he does evil. This point can also be related by one of the thematic idea of the text, which is the effect of the chance on the destiny cannot be neglected. However, virtue is a more significant factor which has power to shape your destiny. Another point which I'd like to talk about is being destroyed. It is quite imaginable that what happens after the destruction of a flower. It loses its state. Another structure may build upon the root of its root of it if it has strong networks, or the seeds it has left before the destruction may cause other individuals with the same hereditary to spring up. An analogy can be constructed in this manner, although what is meant by being destroyed in the text is not certain. Just like the flowers, states make their roots strong with the people who belong to that community. Also, the ruler is more powerful if he has good networks in the government and to the people. Accordingly, if the state or the ruler has fallen, its legacy can be still preserved, so does the ruler, and hence its power. I couldn't be assured if the metaphor constructed with the nature is related to the state or the ruler. Hence, there are some points resulting from some differences in the detail are not fit the analysis. For instance, public internalizes the legacy of a state as a culture. On the other hand, the culture created by an individual, specifically a ruler, is temporary unless its elements are accumulated for a long time. And finally, I'd like to talk about the cultural level analysis. And I like to make you remember the thematic idea, which is unless the man becoming the ruler by fortune has required virtues, all young rulers are destined to lose their power. I think the thematic idea is still relevant today since we are governed by people who are elected by us. Naturally, they have strategies and characteristics so that they preserve and improve their power. However, monarchy has lost its power, although there are countries which still have royal families such as Britain. Their power on the governance is not the same as before. Therefore, rulers are not blood ties with the people who have come before. This increases the importance of virtue over good luck. In order to have a position, the one who wants power needs to follow specific steps and needs to be successful on them. Since the people governed today are mostly well educated, in contrast to the ones living in Middle Ages, they are aware of their needs, rights, and expectations. The people works for the government are respected since they are elected and representative of their audience, elected by their audience. This respect doesn't result from their blood ties, which comes by chance. It is due to their potentials, which I see it as virtue to satisfy expectations. Although the people who are governed today are more educated with respect to the times of Middle Age, they can be still manipulated. Thus, the strategies to stay in power are legit today with some modifications. And that was the end of my analysis. Thank you for listening.